A short, true story for this sixth night of Hanukkah. Billings is the largest city in Montana, with a population of just over 100,000. Its inhabitants are overwhelmingly white and Christian. In the late 1980s, white supremacists declared Montana to be one of 5 states comprising what they called the Aryan homeland. And in the years following, racist incidents multiplied across the state, eventually infecting Billings as well. Skinheads became more and more visible. Ku Klux Klan newspapers were appearing on driveways. There was hateful graffiti, vandalism in the Jewish cemetery, and bomb threats to the temple. Initially, the community chose not to respond, fearful that by raising their voices, they would put themselves in greater danger. And then came the night of December 2nd, 1993. A stranger arrived at the home of Tammy and Brian Schnitzer and their 2 children. In the dark, he stole across the lawn, stopping beneath the window of 5-year-old Isaac's bedroom. In the window, the family had placed a Star of David and a Hanukkah menorah. The stranger threw a cinder block through the window, shattering the glass and the menorah, sending shards into Isaac's bedroom. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Isaac had been in the family room with his 2-year-old sister Rachel and their babysitter. Hearing the crash, the babysitter checked Isaac's bedroom, but in the dark, did not see the broken window. Brian came home first and found the broken glass and the cinder block. Wanting only to keep his children safe, he put them to sleep under the bed in his room in sleeping bags, telling them that they would be having a campout that night. Then he called the police. Shortly afterward, Tammy came home and could tell something was wrong. Brian was talking with the police officer, who advised them that perhaps it would be safer just to take down the Hanukkah decorations. The next day, Tammy was interviewed by the Billings Gazette and told them of what had unfolded and the police officer's recommendation. When the members of the local church learned of the incident and the officer's response, they developed a response of their own. They had the children in their Sunday school draw Hanukkah menorahs. They photocopied them and handed them out to their own members, telling them to put the Hanukkah menorahs up in their windows. An attack on people of any faith in their city was an attack on people of every faith in their city. That week, hundreds of Hanukkah menorahs appeared in the windows of Christian citizens of Billings. People knew the risks that their homes too might be vandalized, but they also knew that there was a greater risk in not acting. Next, the Billings Gazette published a full-page picture of a menorah for people to tear out and put in their windows. Soon, there were many hundreds of Hanukkah menorahs all over Billings. The haters, of course, lashed out, vandalizing churches and homes where menorahs appeared. But the town responded. The local painters' union painted over swastikas and other graffiti. When skinheads appeared at the predominantly black church, members of the local white churches would attend as a sign of solidarity. And for every menorah torn down, 10 more went up. Soon, the hundreds of menorahs turned into thousands. Confronted by this united city, the skinheads and the Klan backed down. The hate literature disappeared, and the vandalism stopped. The story of Billings, chronicled by journalist Claire Safran, was made famous in a PBS documentary titled Not in Our Town. I share it with you tonight for a number of reasons. First, because it may be the most powerful Hanukkah story I know. Second, because, as we all know, anti-Semitism in America is alive and well. And third, because as the citizens of Billings understood, hate is not divisible. We all should have been sickened by Representative Lauren Boebert's awful bigotry directed against Ilhan Omar, her Muslim congressional colleague, in which she painted an entire religious tradition as a terrorist threat. The inhabitants of Billings recognized that such an attack on any religious community is an attack on every religious community, and so do we recognize it. And finally, I share the story of Billings with you because it demonstrates how, when a community comes together, it possesses great might to make great change. We live in a time of darkness, the darkness of xenophobia, of seemingly endless gun violence, of fear for our own health and the well-being of those we love. But we must never believe that we are powerless against that darkness. We can raise our voices and proclaim what faith is really all about, finding the strength we need to carry on, and in turn, giving hope and light back to this world. May these Hanukkah candles burn as our commitment to doing just that in the new year soon to begin. Amen.